Hello, little adventurers! Welcome to our bedtime story channel. Tonight, I have an exciting tale to share with you. It's called Milo the Mischievous Monkey. So snuggle up in your cozy blankets, close your eyes, and let your imagination take you on a magical journey. Are you ready? Let's begin. In the deepest part of the laughing jungle, where trees stretched so high they seemed to tickle the sky, lived a monkey named Milo. Now, Milo wasn't just any monkey. He was the silliest, most mischievous monkey in the whole jungle. He loved playing pranks, especially on his friends, and his favorite targets were the other animals in the jungle. Milo's antics kept everyone on their toes. He once painted stripes on the plain brown birds to make them look like zebras, and swapped the honey in the bear's pot for sour lemons. Every creature in the jungle knew they had to watch out for Milo's tricks, but they also couldn't help but love him, for his laughter and charm filled the jungle with joy. One bright morning, as the sun peeked through the dense canopy, Milo had a big idea: a jungle feast. But this was no ordinary feast, it would be the biggest, funniest feast ever seen. His plan was to prank every animal in the jungle as they came together for a day of food and fun. Milo swung from branch to branch, shouting, "Feast in the forest! All animals are invited to the great jungle feast. Bring your biggest appetite and your best mood." The animals were thrilled. The lions roared in excitement, the parrots squawked with joy, and even the grumpy old tortoise grinned. Milo went around personally inviting everyone, and telling them to meet in the meadow at noon. Little did they know that he had a mischievous plan up his furry sleeve. Milo spent the morning setting up the feast with all kinds of dishes: banana pies, mango juice, honey cakes, and even coconut pudding. But here was the trick. Each dish was laced with a little surprise. He filled the pies with spicy pepper paste, added pickle juice to the mango juice, made the honey cakes extra salty, and added extra sour lemons to the coconut pudding. Then, he sat back with a cheeky grin and waited for the fun to begin. At noon, the animals gathered in the meadow, each one curious and hungry. Milo welcomed everyone with a big smile and grand gestures, making them feel like honored guests. "Welcome, welcome, my dear friends. Today you'll taste the finest dishes the jungle has ever seen," Milo announced, barely able to keep a straight face. The animals cheered and clapped, each one eagerly grabbing a plate. The first to take a bite was Leo the lion. He dug his big paws into a banana pie and took a giant bite. But suddenly, Leo's eyes went wide, his face turned red, and smoke seemed to puff out of his ears. "Hot, hot," roared Leo, his voice booming through the meadow. "My mouth is on fire. Milo, what's in this pie?" Milo just shrugged, pretending to look concerned. "Oh dear, Leo, I must have added a tiny bit of pepper by accident. Silly me." Next up was Polly the parrot, who sipped a big gulp of mango juice. She squawked and flapped her wings wildly, her face scrunched up. "This tastes like pickle," she shouted. "Who put pickle juice in mango juice?" Milo grinned. "Oh, Polly, I must have confused the jars. My sincere apologies," he said, though he could barely hold in his giggles. One by one, each animal got pranked. Benny the bear chomped into a honey cake, only to spit it out because it was saltier than seawater. Sally the squirrel tried the coconut pudding and scrunched up her face at the super sour taste. By now, everyone knew what was going on, and all eyes turned to Milo, who was rolling on the ground with laughter. The animals were not happy with Milo's pranks, but as they watched him laugh, they couldn't help but laugh a little too. However, Leo the lion had a sly smile as he whispered to the other animals. "I think it's time we teach Milo a lesson," Leo said, winking. The animals all gathered around, and soon a clever plan was hatched to turn the tables on their mischievous friend. As Milo's laughter finally died down, Leo stepped forward. "You know, Milo," he began, "since you worked so hard to prepare this feast for us, it's only fair that you enjoy it too." Milo's eyes sparkled at the idea. "Oh, I was hoping you'd offer." He reached for a banana pie, his favorite. But as he took a big bite, his face twisted with the intense spice, his eyes watered, and he began to fan his mouth with his paws. Hot! Hot, shouted Milo, now hopping around just like Leo had done. The animals roared with laughter, cheering as Milo struggled with the spiciness. Next, Benny the bear handed Milo a big cup of mango juice. Milo gulped it down, expecting sweetness but instead tasting sour pickle juice. His face turned green, and he made a silly bleh noise, causing the animals to laugh even harder. Then, Polly the parrot handed him a honey cake. "Come on, Milo, try your own creation," she chirped with a smirk. Milo took a tiny bite, only to spit it out immediately due to the overwhelming saltiness. Milo couldn't believe it. "You tricked me," he exclaimed, laughing so hard he could barely stand. "I've been pranked by my own feast." Just as everyone thought the fun was over, Leo clapped his paws and called out, "I declare a jungle dance-off. Milo, since you're the guest of honor, you get to start." Milo loved to dance, so he took his place in the center of the meadow. He started with his famous monkey moves, swinging his arms, bouncing on his feet, and even twirling in circles. The animals cheered him on, clapping their paws, hooves, and wings in rhythm. After Milo's performance, each animal took turns showing off their own dance moves. Benny the bear did a clumsy but hilarious bear shuffle, Polly the parrot did a wing flap dance, and Sally the squirrel spun around like a whirlwind. The funniest dance was when Tilly the tortoise stepped up. She moved so slowly that it looked like she was in slow motion, but she twirled her head with such grace that everyone applauded her unique style. Finally, the animals decided that the best way to end the dance-off was with a group dance. Everyone joined in, laughing, clapping, and dancing together. Even Milo, exhausted from his own pranks and the spicy pies, joined in, jumping around and swinging his tail. The whole jungle echoed with laughter, and Milo felt his heart swell with happiness. He had started the day wanting to prank his friends, but in the end they had all shared the joy and laughter together. As the sun began to set and the animals said their goodbyes, Milo sat quietly, thinking about the day. His friends had managed to turn his prank into a shared adventure filled with laughter, and it made him realize something important. He looked around at his friends, who were waving and calling out to him as they left. "Thank you, everyone, for making today unforgettable. I guess sometimes even the trickster can be tricked," he said with a grin. Leo patted him on the back. "Just remember, Milo, a good laugh is always best when shared." Milo nodded, understanding the wisdom in Leo's words. He promised himself he'd still play pranks but would always make sure they were in good fun, never hurtful, and always left room for his friends to prank him back. From that day on, Milo continued to be the silliest monkey in the jungle, but his pranks were a bit friendlier, and he learned to laugh at himself just as much as he laughed with others. And every time the jungle animals gathered for a feast, they knew one thing for sure: wherever there was Milo, there would be laughter, fun, and just a little bit of monkey mischief. Did you enjoy Milo the Mischievous Monkey and the Jungle Feast Fiasco? If you laughed at Milo's jungle adventures, give this video a thumbs up, share it with friends who love fun bedtime stories. And don't forget to subscribe to Little Adventurers for more exciting tales every week. Hit the bell so you never miss a new story.